Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Primetime Football League Draft. And tonight is a special night. A couple of housekeeping things before we get started. Kalani, the head coach for the Oregon Crusaders, has stepped down as the head coach of the Oregon Crusaders, and Mike Fletcher Jr. has stepped up from an assistant coach to become the head coach, and he will be direct rivals with Austin Slokey's San Diego Vipers. But without a further ado, I think I've kept you all waiting long enough. Sorry for the long wait. It's technical issues out the wazoo. Let's get started with this draft.
With the first pick in the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the Baton Rouge Crimson Tigers select Travion King, quarterback, out of Ole Miss.
What an absolute fire start to this draft, ladies and gentlemen. The 2023 Heisman, the man that took Ole Miss to the 2023 national title game. He had a 92% QBR in 2023 and led the SEC in passing touchdowns and yards. A huge get for Baton Rouge and head coach Brian Thatcher. A huge get, and that quarterback is now going to be paired with elite receivers. And I'm very curious to see how these teams start to shake out with Baton Rouge with a huge signing as they finally have their guy behind center. Next up in the draft, the Cincinnati Kings are on the clock. Let's see where they go. They could go wide receiver. They could go defense. We'll see exactly what happens. They need a big weapon on offense, so we'll see if they go running back and maybe... Oh, the pick is in. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
The second pick in the second round in the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the Cincinnati Kings select Xavier Gore, wide receiver out of Penn State.
You want to talk about a weapon for their quarterback, Yao Lin. You want to talk about a guy that can take over an offense. You talk about Xavier Gore, an All-American from Penn State, 2022's Big Ten wide receiver of the year. Led Penn State to a national championship against Ole Miss and the runner-up for the 2023 Heisman. Had a phenomenal season last year, leading the Big Ten in receptions and yards. And we'll see if he can get big production in Cincinnati. Next up on the clock is San Diego. I wonder who they're going to go for. There's a lot of people in this draft they could use, but I think they need to get someone under center or maybe some sort of linebacker. Oh, but the pick is in. Here we go.
The third pick in the first round of the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the San Diego Vipers select Carson Howell, quarterback, out of Duke University.
And there you have it. San Diego has their quarterback, Carson Howell, the senior from Duke. The 2023 ACC quarterback of the year, led the ACC in passing touchdowns and in passing yards, was an All-American second team, and in 2022, he was the runner-up for the Heisman. A solid get for Austin Slokey and the San Diego Vipers as this offense is looking even better and better. Next up on the clock is Washington. And the pick is already in. We're already flying through this.
With the fourth pick in the first round of the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the Washington Redhawks select Robert Miller, quarterback out of Wake Forest.
And that is a huge get for Washington, obviously lacking severely in the quarterback department, getting Robert Miller out of Wake Forest, the 2022 ACC Quarterback of the Year, the 2023 runner-up for Heisman, and he led the Demon Deacons to an ACC championship against Duke in 2022. He was the Freshman of the Year in 2021 in the entire nation, and tonight, I mean, getting him for the Washington Redhawks, there's already been 3 quarterbacks off the board, and there are 3 of the top quarterbacks in the league. There's still some left. You got guys like Brandon Schulte out of Clemson, guys like Edgar Roach out of Pittsburgh. There are guys still on this board that could absolutely change offenses for the better, as San Antonio is on the clock next. But what a draft so far. Obviously, San Antonio needs someone. They need a weapon for their quarterback. And here we go. Again, the pick very quickly.
With the 5th pick in the first round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the San Antonio Rams select Carson Snead, wide receiver out of SMU.
And there you have it. There's your weapon out of the ACC from SMU, Carson Snead, the runner-up, the last runner-up for Heisman in 2023. In 2023, he was the ACC Wide Receiver of the Year. All-American in 2023, he led the ACC in receiving yards and touchdowns. An explosive receiver for San Antonio and their quarterback. We'll see how they play this year, but getting this kid in the first round is huge for that team. As Oregon is on the clock and they're already firing away.
With the 6th pick in the first round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Oregon Crusaders select defensive end Yusuf Corleone from Colorado State.
Well, when I spoke to Mike Fletcher Jr. about this team before the draft, he said his defense was going to be stout. It was going to be dominant. And getting the defensive end out of Colorado State, a 2022 Heisman runner-up, the best defensive tackle in 2023. He led the nation in sacks and tackle for losses in 2022 and 2023. He was also the best senior in college football in 2023. An absolute beast on the end, and you pair him with that already stout defense, this team is just getting better and better. On the clock now is Oklahoma City. Let's see what direction they go as the pick is already in. Here we go, folks.
With the 7th pick in the first round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Oklahoma City Bison select running back Kevin O'Leary out of Boston College.
A solid running back as Southampton is on the clock right now. They have 30 seconds to a minute. But Kevin O'Leary from Boston College, second in rushing for the ACC in 2022 and 2023. He led the ACC in rushing touchdowns, and in 2022, he was nominated for the best running back in the nation. And also in 2023, that happened as well. A huge get for Kevin O'Leary, kind of a reach in my opinion. There are better running backs in this draft class that I think would have been a better fit here at OKC. But regardless, the Bisons get a solid back in Kevin O'Leary. But still on the clock, we're awaiting the pick from Southampton here. And where's Frank Uri going to go? Is he going to go offensive or defenses? And here it is. The pick is in.
With the final pick in the first round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Southampton Gators select Larry Pryor.
Oh my God.
Out of Syracuse.
You've got to be kidding me. As Cincinnati is on the clock for the second round. But Larry Pryor out of the Big Orange in the ACC, a good friend of mine, is a big fan of Larry Pryor out of Syracuse, was a 2022 Heisman. He won the Heisman in 2022. He was the best running back in the nation in 2023, led the ACC in rushing yards in both 2022 and 2023. He led Syracuse to a national championship in 2022. This kid is a beast. An already stout offense in Bruno Starr, Jamison, Cooks, and all those receivers, they get even better with this rookie, Larry Pryor, a Heisman out of Syracuse. This team is going to be disgusting this year. It's going to be a hell of a year for them, and they're already starting off hot with a huge signing out of the ACC. But Cincinnati is on the clock. The pick is in, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
With the first pick in the second round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Cincinnati Kings select linebacker John Fowler
Holy
III
fuck.
from Florida State.
Man, you have got to be kidding me. Another guy that was on my list for best players in this draft, John Fowler III out of Florida State, an All-American, 2023 linebacker of the year, 2021 Heisman runner-up, 56 career sacks at Florida State and 16 interceptions. This kid can do it all. And going to Cincinnati in a defense fitting in with a defensive style of team, I'm very curious to see how John Fowler III fits in. Back on the clock is Southampton. Which direction it's already in. They didn't even wait a minute. Here we go.
With the second pick in the second round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Southampton Gators select linebacker Cal Roper.
Oh my God.
Out of Clemson.
Well, you talk about orange. I mean, look at Clemson and the linebacker Cal Roper, an All-American, the 2022 linebacker of the year, the 2022 ACC linebacker of the year, has 62 sacks and 22 interceptions at Clemson in his 4 years at college there. Southampton just keeps getting better with these draft picks. They have not missed so far, and so far the winners have been Southampton. So I'm very curious to see how the rest of the draft pans out, as Southampton is just getting stronger by the minute. Next up on the clock is OKC. Are they going to go? And it looks like it's already in. I don't even have a second to analyze.
With the third pick in the second round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Oklahoma City Bison select defensive end Franklin Phillips out of Nebraska.
A player out of the Big Ten, as Oregon is on the clock here. Mike Fletcher Jr., obviously, and others in the workshop working, but we're going to talk about the Oklahoma City pick right now. Franklin Phillips, a Big Ten defensive end of the year, had 25 sacks in 2023, and in total as his career at Nebraska, he has 73. He's only allowed Nebraska to be the best running defense in 2023 and the runner-up for the best D-line in the nation. This kid can play ball, and this is a huge get for OKC, who's trying to improve on their already good enough defense, and it just got even better with an All-American. But as I said, Oregon is on the clock, and it looks like they have made their choice here.
With the fourth pick in the 2024 second round of the PTFL Draft, the Oregon Crusaders select quarterback Edgar Roach out of Pittsburgh.
There you go. And that's what I'm talking about. This kid out of Pittsburgh, he's on my list as well. Kids that I thought were going to go earlier in this draft. This guy is an absolute beast. ACC Player of the Year in 2023. Led the ACC in QBR and took them to their first ACC title game last year. Pittsburgh was absolute dominating the ACC when it came to playing. And now he's in Oregon underneath Mike Fletcher Jr., who, in my opinion, could make this team so much better and grow Edgar Roach into the player that he needs him to be. But a great solid pick for Oregon, as San Antonio is now on the clock. And where are they going to go? Are they going to go defensive or offensive here? And the pick is in as we're flying through this round.
With the fifth pick in the second round of the 2024 draft, the San Antonio Rams select tight end Jaquan Reacher out of Minnesota.
You want to talk about a fucking pick? There's a huge pick right there. The best tight end in 2023 stats-wise. He won the best tight end in the Big Ten in 2023 and 2022. This kid is 6'5". He's faster than lightning. He can turn games around for teams that need it to be. As Baton Rouge is on the clock, how are they going to follow this blockbuster signing? As San Antonio just continues that they might make another run on it this year. It might be Southampton and San Antonio once again in the Primetime Football Championship. Baton Rouge is on the clock here, though. Are they gonna... Here we go. The pick is in.
With the 6th pick in the second round of the 2024 draft, Baton Rouge selects safety Darius Wicks out of LSU.
All right, let me tell you something about this draft pick. This might be the best pick of the draft by far so far. Darius Wicks out of LSU doesn't have to go very far. He already lives here in Louisiana. For Baton Rouge, that's where the Tigers and LSU play football. He led the SEC in interceptions for 3 straight years. He has the most defensive touchdowns in all of college football. He won 2023 and 2022 Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-American for 3 straight seasons. This safety is a game changer. Darius Wicks is an immediate impact maker for this defense. And combining him with Jojo Iamaleava, this team's secondary is unbelievable. But next up, San Diego is back on the clock. Who are they going to go for? Offensively, I could see them going for some guys, but also defensively to maybe shore up. As here we go, Austin's got the pick in.
With the 7th pick in the second round of the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the San Diego Vipers select defensive tackle Robbie Johnson out of Auburn.
Oh, man. So a little bit of story for this pick up here, the draft. Robbie Johnson is the brother of the current defensive tackle in San Diego. I know they're probably together and they're probably hugging and crying at this time. Davis Johnson, the 4th year out of Auburn, finally has his brother alongside him on that D line, which is already good. Keep in mind, this kid is the real deal. He was a part of the best D-line in 2023 in the SEC. Only allowed 140 yards of rushing while on the field. He has 52 sacks in 2 seasons at Auburn. And in 2023, he won SEC Defensive Lineman of the Year. This kid is good, just like his brother, and I should not be surprised. And I can already tell that Austin's happy to have this this stout, this tough D-line. And I'm very curious to see how this defense does against all the offensive power that we've had in this draft. But Washington is now on the clock for the final pick of the second round. Who are they going to go? Are they going to go defensive just like the rest of these teams in this round, or what are we going to do here?
With the final pick in the second round of the 2024 draft, the Washington Redhawks select linebacker Paul Hart out of Wisconsin.
I don't like this pick. I'm going to be completely honest with all of you. I do not like this pick for Washington. I think their linebacker core is solid. I don't think they need a linebacker. And honestly, taking Paul Hart this early is a bit of a reach, in my opinion. He's a solid player, don't get me wrong. A great linebacker out of Wisconsin, a Big Ten school. But I don't think he is a second-round type of player. I think there are other linebackers that should have went above him. But I think this is a good move by Washington regardless because it gets them some youth in the linebacker room. But next up, Baton Rouge is once again on the clock for the beginning of round 3. And where are they going to go after going defense last round? Is it going to be offensive this time? We're going to find out.
With the 3rd round first pick, the Baton Rouge Crimson Tigers select linebacker Apollo Bennett.
Oh my God.
Iowa.
You want to talk about a draft pick after that last linebacker? This is the man that should have went before Paul Hart, in my opinion. Apollo Bennett, the best linebacker in all of college football. It's not even close. He has so many fucking awards that I had to get a packet of everything he's done in his career in football. This kid might be the best athlete on defense. He is a stud. And he is going to be the glue that holds the Baton Rouge defense together just as a rookie. A good pick, a solid pick. And I said their last pick in the 3rd round was their best pick of all the draft. Nah, it's this one. Apollo Bennett is a for sure. That was a dude, was a 1st rounder, and I'm surprised he dropped to the 3rd round. On the clock now is San Diego. Let's see where Austin goes. And here we go. The pick is already in. He's moving quick tonight.
With the 2nd pick in the 3rd round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the San Diego Vipers select Quintavious
Oh my God.
cornerback out of Oklahoma.
All right, well, Austin is a Boomer Sooner fan, and that is a damn fact, but getting Quintavious Tune in the 3rd round is an absolute magnificent move. He is the best corner in college football. He has the record for interceptions and defensive touchdowns for Oklahoma. This kid is a stud, a ball-hawking corner, and I'm excited to see what he does under the prowess of the defensive mind of Austin Slokey. But next up on the clock is Washington again. Looks like before I could even make a text here, it looks like Washington is in.
With the 3rd pick in the 3rd round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Washington Redhawks select cornerback Ashton Lane.
Oh my
out
God.
of Toledo.
All right, well, that makes up for their draft pick before. Let me tell you what, this kid, Ashton Lane out of Toledo, is the best corner in the MAC. Led Toledo's defense to the first ever defensive showcase in a MAC championship. They played Northern Illinois University, and that was, I mean, the final score was 3-0. Toledo won by 3, but it's because of the interceptions by Ashton Lane and that lockdown defense between those two. A solid game and also a solid pick for Washington, who, in my opinion, just locked down their secondary with the corner pickup of Ashton Lane. On the clock now is Cincinnati, and here we go. We're already into it.
With the 4th pick in the 3rd round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Cincinnati Kings select wide receiver Frederick Sampson out of Ohio State University.
Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. This offense is going to be insane this year. So for the first round, you take Xavier Gore from Penn State, and then you take the 2nd best receiver in college football in the Big Ten. You take Frederick Sampson out of Ohio State. He was the Big Ten wide receiver of the year running up and the best wide receiver in Ohio in total. Mr. Ohio, Mr. Football, if you will. He dominated for Ohio State. They didn't make it very far in the playoffs, but my God, this kid is legit. And now pair him with Xavier Gore and Yao Lin as quarterback. This air raid offense is going to be unstoppable this year. How is anyone going to stop this team? Next up, Oregon is on the clock, and we're not even going to get a second to say who's on the clock. Here we go.
With the 4th pick, the 5th pick in the 2024 PTFL Draft in the 3rd round, the Oregon Crusaders select defensive end Lakimi Birch.
Oh my God.
Out of Ohio University.
All right, what a pickup for the Crusaders, getting the Ohio University kid, Lakimi Birch. He led Ohio to the MAC championship with their defense only allowing 26 points all year in 2022. What an absolute pickup for the Crusaders. This is a lockdown defensive end, and I'm very curious what this defense is going to look like this year. It's going to be stout. Southampton is on the clock. I wonder where they're going to go, and I don't even have a second to talk about it. Here we go.
With the 6th pick in the 3rd round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Southampton Gators select wide receiver Bobby Unga.
Oh my
out of
God.
Alabama.
So not only do you have Larry Pryor out of Cuse, now you got Bobby Unga next to Jamison Cooks. I mean, this is an insane offense Let me talk to you about this kid for a minute. Bobby Unga, the best SEC wide receiver in 2022. He led the SEC in touchdowns and receptions in 2022, led Alabama to another SEC title in 2022, and was an All-American in 2023. This kid is insanity personified. And now you combine that with Bruno Starr, who is a phenomenal quarterback. I mean, this is going to be an unstoppable offense, and it's going to be a handful for Baton Rouge week 1. OKC is on the clock, and before we even have a second to mention who's on the clock, the pick is in.
With the 7th pick in the 3rd round of the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the Oklahoma City Bison select linebacker Tony Ashton out of Iowa State.
I don't really have much to say about this pick. It's a great pick, a solid pick. He's a solid player, and it shores up that defense even more. OKC is going to be a defensive powerhouse this year. I can feel it, and I'm very curious to see how he fits into their lineup. But already on the clock is San Antonio.
With the final pick in the 3rd round of the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the San Antonio Rams select defensive tackle Walter Knight out of Alabama.
Again, I don't got much to say about this as San Diego is on the clock again, but Walter Knight is a good defensive tackle out of Alabama. Maybe not as high as I would have had picked him, but it was a great pick regardless. Shores up that D-line even more for San Antonio as they are looking to make another run for a title against Southampton, who seem to be the favorites right now after this draft so far. But San Diego's on the clock. Here we go.
With the first pick in the 4th round of the Ptfl Draft, the San Diego Vipers select wide receiver Richard Black out of Vanderbilt.
Again, another solid pick. Don't got much to say about it. He's a great kid. He's got a great potential, and I think for this offense, it's stuff you need. With your rookie quarterback now, you need weapons, and I think it's a good pickup for Austin Slokey and the San Diego Vipers. Cincinnati's on the clock.
With the 2nd pick in the 4th round of the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the Cincinnati Kings select safety Lonnie Taylor out of Georgia.
You've got to be kidding me. This defense is going to be nuts. You got Lonnie Taylor out of Georgia. He was the best safety in the SEC in 2022. He fell off a bit in 2023, but he's still a damn good player. It's a damn good pick for Cincinnati as this team is trying to prove that they might make a run this year. As Washington is on the clock again. Here we go. The pick is in, ladies and gentlemen.
With the 3rd pick in the 4th round of the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the Washington Redhawks select wide receiver Maven Whitty out of UTEP.
Again, another huge pickup for Washington. Maven Whitty, probably the most underrated player in this draft. This kid, people think isn't going to be good enough to play in the Primetime Football League. But let me tell you, this kid has the speed. He has the mental awareness. He has the ability. And you just let him in an offense and he can go. What a pickup for Washington. OKC's on the clock, and I don't even have a chance to talk about it yet.
With the 4th pick in the 4th round of the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the Oklahoma City Bison select wide receiver Peter Zamboni out of Michigan State.
I won't lie, I don't like this pick. This is not a great pick. I don't think Peter Zamboni should be this high. I think they reached a bit for him. I think he's a great player, but I think maybe taking him in the 5th or 6th round would have been a better decision. But regardless, Oklahoma City gets a good receiver in Peter Zamboni. Here we go. We're just flying through these picks now.
With the 5th pick in the 4th round of the 2024 Ptfl Draft, the Southampton Gators select safety Opal Davidson out of Stanford University.
I don't like that pick at all. I think that's a huge reach. You could have taken Opal in the 7th round. There are a lot more safeties here that are a lot better, in my opinion. There are guys like Gunnar Richardson out of Oklahoma. There are guys like Tulia Milford out of Kentucky. Guys like Victor Bowles out of Oregon. I mean, there are a lot of players that I think could have gone before him. Jaquan Layton out of Louisiana Tech. But taking, in my opinion, taking Opal Davidson now was a bit of a reach, and we'll see how it helps them against Baton Rouge Tigers week 1, who are on the clock. And here we go.
With the 6th pick in the 4th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Baton Rouge Crimson Tigers select defensive tackle Bo Peters.
Oh my God. What a beautiful pick. Bo Peters out of Coastal Carolina. The best defensive tackle in the Sun Belt Conference. A solid pick. I am extremely confused how this kid dropped all the way to the 4th round. He was one of them on the top of my list who should have went first. Bo Peters is a game changer. And for Baton Rouge, it's a huge change as they might dominate on defense. And now, San Antonio is on the clock.
With the 7th pick in the 4th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the San Antonio Rams select linebacker Hita Uboglo out of TCU.
Wow. You want to talk about a draft pick after the one we just saw? Hita Uboglo out of TCU might be the best linebacker in the Big 12, and he honestly might be the best linebacker in this draft class next to Apollo Bennett. But Hita Uboglo, getting him this late in the draft is a steal. One of the best picks by San Antonio all night, and I can't wait to see what this defense does in the regular season. Oregon is on the clock, and now the pick's already in. Mike Fletcher Jr. not messing around here.
With the final pick of the 4th round in the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Oregon Crusaders select wide receiver Sam Stone out of UCLA.
Great pick. Solid pick. You know, you get another player for your team. You get another player for your quarterback, and I think that this is exactly what you want. Getting Sam Stone out of UCLA is a solid pick, and with your rookie Edgar Roach, it's going to be a great season as you finally have another weapon that can help and develop that young QB.
With the first pick in the 5th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Oregon Crusaders select running back Stephon Bass out of Arkansas.
Another solid pick. You get more weapons for that rookie quarterback. This team's going to be good this year. This is going to be a team to watch. Let me tell you, it's going to be a handful for San Diego. I'm very curious to see how these two play out against each other as the season goes on. But this team, getting Stephon Bass this late is a steal.
The second pick in the 5th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, Oklahoma City selects cornerback Reed Blank out of Colorado.
It's a good pick. I don't hate it. It's not a great pick, but it's a good sign and a good way to shore up your corner as you get another young corner in Reed Blank. You know, it's a good pickup. I don't hate the pick. It's a good pick. But I think they could have gone with someone else. But solid pick all around. Oklahoma City dominant, getting a great draft so far. Baton Rouge is on the clock, and before we even have a second to mention it.
With the 3rd pick in the 5th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Baton Rouge Crimson Tigers select cornerback Hudson Poles out of the U.
I think that's a reach. I think that is a hell of a reach. He's out of Miami. He's a great corner, but I think you could have waited to take him to the 7th round. Just like Opal Davidson with Southampton, I think there are other corners in this draft class that play better to your scheme in Baton Rouge. Hudson Pulse is a great corner, but I think there were better players for this team. We'll see how they play out week 1 and the rest of the season. Southampton back on the clock.
With the 4th pick in the 5th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Southampton Gators select cornerback Lamar Brockton.
Oh my God. This team's going to be insane this year. You get Lamar Brockton this late in the draft, a solid corner, one of the best corners in the SEC at LSU. I mean, Lamar Brockton almost led the SEC. He was second behind in the SEC in interceptions behind Darius Wicks, the player that's on his fucking team. And now Southampton has another great corner. And I don't know who's going to beat this team, but Lamar Brockton going to Southampton is insanity. Next up is San Antonio, and I didn't even have a chance to say who's up.
With the 5th pick in the 5th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the San Antonio Rams select wide receiver Damian Steele out of Oregon State.
Great pick. Great pick.
With the 6th pick in the 2024 PTFL Draft, the San Diego Vipers select in the 5th round safety Gunnar Richardson out of Oklahoma University.
And I mentioned this earlier. I think Gunnar could have gone a lot higher in this draft, but obviously he goes now and to San Diego. It's a much needed pickup and getting that safety from Oklahoma. Obviously, Boomer Sooner energy going through San Diego right now for Austin Slokey. And I mean, just another great pick by this organization.
With the 7th pick in the 5th round of the PTFL 2024 Draft, Washington Redhawks select defensive tackle Walter Erickson out of Cincinnati.
This is their best pick of the draft so far. Walter Erickson led the team in sacks for 3 years straight. Their best pick, and I'm extremely confused how Walter dropped this far. Walter was on my list just below Bo Peters and defensive tackles that I thought could go earlier in the draft. But watch out for this kid. This kid's going to be really good for Washington. I think it's a great pick. Their best pick so far is Cincinnati is on the clock.
With the final pick in the 5th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Cincinnati Kings select tight end Darren Leitner out of Florida.
That's a reach. I don't like that pick at all. That's a reach.
With the first pick in the 6th round of the 2024 draft for the PTFL, the Oklahoma City Bison select safety Jaquan Layton out of Louisiana Tech.
Solid pick, probably one of the better safeties in the draft. I'm surprised he dropped this far. And like I said, I mean, getting Opal Davidson, Southampton could have had Jaquan Layton and also getting Lamar Brockton. I mean, your DBs, your secondary will be studs, but Jaquan Layton goes to OKC, and that even shores up their defense even more. Solid pickup, probably one of the best picks so far by this OKC team. And this late in the draft, I mean, you can't get any better than that, as Baton Rouge is on the clock.
With the 2nd pick in the 6th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Baton Rouge Crimson Tigers select tight end Stephen Paul out of Michigan.
Solid pick. One of the best picks they've done so far. Before I even get a chance to analyze that, here we go. Another pick is in. This time for San Antonio.
The 3rd pick in the 6th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, San Antonio Rams select defensive tackle Herschel Feta out of Hawaii.
And this is a pick that confuses me because I think this man is the best defensive tackle in the nation. Herschel Feta out of Hawaii played in the American Conference, but I think this kid is going to be a stud for the PTFL, and I think it was a mistake for him to drop this far. And now San Antonio has another big piece for their defense, and I'm saying right now, this is a big pickup for this team. San Diego is on the clock. Let's see what they do here.
With the 4th pick in the 2024 6th round of the PTFL Draft, the San Diego Vipers select defensive end Johnny Black out of Indiana.
See, I wouldn't. That is, in my opinion, that's a reach. Johnny Black's a great player, great defensive end in the Big Ten, and one of the better schools in Indiana. But there are other players that I felt would fit better here. You got guys like Derek Moffa out of Tennessee. You got guys like Brandon Layfield out of USC. Malachi Oaks. I mean, you got so many other guys, in my opinion, that would fit better with this scheme. And I don't understand the pick, but regardless, I think with Johnny Black, I think Austin could do some major work. And I think this defense is still going to be very good.
With the 5th pick in the 6th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Cincinnati Kings select defensive end Derek Moffa.
There he is.
Out of the University of Tennessee.
Just as I said it from before, ladies and gentlemen, Derek Moffa, the best DE in the nation, and I'm very confused how he dropped this far. He was at the very top of my list on players that should go in the 1st round, and he goes to Cincinnati in the 6th, just before the final round. What a huge pickup for this defense, and they're starting to turn it around. I mean, Derek Moffa is going to dominate the field for Cincinnati. Washington is on the clock. Let's see what they go with here.
With the 6th pick in the 6th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Washington Redhawks select defensive end Brandon Lawfield.
There he goes again.
USC.
Solid pick.
With the 7th pick in the 6th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Southampton Gators select linebacker Sweeney Lott out of Liberty.
Great pick.
With the final pick in the 6th round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Oregon Crusaders select defensive tackle Malachi Oaks.
There he goes. Another
Texas.
Great defensive tackle out of the SEC. Gone off the board. And Southampton's just firing through. I might not even be able to talk for this.
With the 1st pick of the final round of the PTFL 2024 Draft, the Southampton Gators select cornerback Cam Bauer out of Western Kentucky.
All right, I need a minute just to talk about this kid. This kid out of Western Kentucky is going to be someone to watch this year. He's a very underrated pick. I'm surprised he dropped this far, but getting him in the 7th round just before, I mean, this is a solid pickup for Southampton next to Lamar Brockton. This is a huge get. And getting him in the 7th round, like I said, is huge for them. So, next up is San Diego's last pick of the draft. Let's see what they do. Here we go. The draft pick is in as we're getting closer and closer to the end of this thing.
With the 2nd pick in the final round of the PTFL 2024 Draft, San Diego Vipers select linebacker Alvin Usman out of Mississippi State.
A solid pick by Austin Slokey and a final pick, if you will. A great draft for them, getting Alvin Usman out of Mississippi State. An amazing pick and a kid that I think could revolutionize their defense for everything. I mean, you look at this team now and it's just stacked, and I'm very curious to see what they do going forward with this defense. San Antonio's up next.
With the 3rd pick in the final round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the San Antonio Rams select safety Tulia Milford.
There he goes.
Kentucky.
Solid pick.
With the 4th pick in the final round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Oregon Crusaders select linebacker Oscar Gabriel out of Washington.
Solid pickup.
With the 5th pick in the final round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Oklahoma City Bison select linebacker Delaware Kingston out of Boise State University.
Damn. And I don't even have time to even go over what's going on here.
6th pick in the final round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Washington Redhawks select safety Victor Bowles out of Oregon.
Holy shit, what a pick.
With the 7th pick in the final round of the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Cincinnati Kings select linebacker Eddie Winter out of Tulane.
There you go. There's a linebacker for you in the final pick. Here we go in the draft. What's Baton Rouge going to go with?
With the final pick in the final round in the 2024 PTFL Draft, the Baton Rouge Crimson Tigers select wide receiver Vincent Brooks.
Holy shit.
Tennessee.
Good old Rocky Top, baby. They never cease to amaze me. I'm very confused how the best receiver in the SEC dropped to the last pick in the draft. But I'm glad to see Travion King has weapons. And I'm really excited to see what this team does in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. This has been the WLW. I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying WLW. PTFL Draft in 2024. If you've stuck around for this long, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I'm very excited to see what this venture does. I would like to thank OBS for the graphics and all of the things that come with the PTFL logo and the GIFs and things. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with people I've worked with for the PTFL, and it's going to be a great season. It starts next week. We're going to have 2 games on Monday. 2 games are going to come out on Thursday, and 2 games are going to come out on Saturday. There might be live streams. There may not be. Just keep yourself posted to updates and other things on the channel. We will go from there. I hope you all enjoyed. Take it away.